All right, welcome back. It's day 7 of working on my house every day, and today we're going to continue with this bar area build with this walnut. Got everything fabricated, kind of just sitting in here. None of this is actually nailed in. I'll take it all back out in order to finish it, but I need to make one more piece, and that's going to be up underneath this top. There's a gap at the top that I'm going to fill with the trim piece, so that it hides some of these brackets and the gap that's at the top. And then that will also act as, I'm going to put an LED track that also attaches to that. So I need to basically find a piece for that because I don't even know how much I have left. I might have to piece it together because I don't have a lot of this walnut left. And then just kind of fabricate it, notch it to go around these brackets. And then I think I'm just going to have to glue it. There's no great way to attach it under here. I think I might just have to go ahead and glue it with some construction adhesive right to the bottom of this counter, which should be fine, but let me take you under here and I'll show you what I'm working with. All right, so underneath here you can see got this big frame that I built out, and I didn't want to have to notch out this frame around all of this and make it like a crazy tight fit for this big giant piece. So I plan to just have to kind of build a trim piece to cover this gap here, which is about a 1/2 inch all the way down. The only difficult part is there's all these metal brackets that support the counter. So I'm just gonna have to get my dado into my table saw and then just notch out all along there. And then, like I said, I'm gonna just have to basically glue it to the bottom there because I think that's really the only way. So let's go find a couple pieces and get those made up. Oh yeah, and one more thing is we finally decided on a stain color. We're gonna go with the black color. We just thought that that looked best with the floor. It's pretty dark, but I think really just because this piece is so small, it's extra dark where that piece was. I did it on another bigger piece and it came out really good. So I think this will be the color that we go with, and probably do that tomorrow. All right, so I think I found my pieces. This one is about 8 feet long, and then I only need about another 8 to 10 inches, so this piece should work just fine. I don't even need this one, so I'm just gonna get these to mill them up to be the same size. This is not perfectly straight, but it's not gonna be, I'll be able to, flex it a little bit and get it to fit down there just fine. And then I'll just kind of piece them together underneath. I wish I could get it in one piece, but I don't have anything. It's like 103 inches long, so all the pieces I had were either 8 feet or just over, which is not quite enough, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get these kind of milled up, and then should be pretty easy from there. All right, got my pieces milled up here. Came out kind of the perfect size, just using some scrap, and got them nice and straight on the jointer, and then ran them back through the table saw just to get the edges. I believe that would be coplanar. Now I'm going to add a little chamfer to like the front edge where, if people are sitting under the bar, I don't want them to possibly hit their knee on this sharp edge. So I'm going to add a little chamfer with this bit here just to kind of soften that edge a little bit. And here's the other sample of that Rubio black. on the walnut, which with this bigger sample, you can see it still has a ton of character, just darkens it a bit. And I think this will look perfect down in that basement. So yeah. Really? There you go. So you just soften that corner a little bit, the chamfer. I don't know if it's chamfer or chamfer. I think you can say either way, but it makes it look just a little more finished. So the next thing to do with these pieces is go take them back into the basement, put them up under the bar, and then mark where those metal brackets sit. So that way I can dado out an area so that those will sit flush up against the bottom of that countertop and go around that bracket. So let's go down there and then I'll mark it all out and then throw a dado blade in my table saw. And that should be the last thing that I really need to do with these. And that'll be, I think everything will be done. And then all I have to do is finish. And I'm going to be applying the Rubio tomorrow. So if you're interested in how Rubio goes on or how to apply it and want to see the finished result, come back tomorrow and I'll get that all finished up. I've got all my dado locations now where I need to notch this out for those brackets underneath, which I think they're about 3/16 to 1/4 inch thick, so I'll take off at least 1/4 inch. And these don't have to be perfect. You're never really gonna see this unless you really look underneath, but I should be able to. I'm a little nervous about having to cut these ones like way down on the end, because obviously I'm gonna be trying to cut this one on the table saw and I have all of that hanging off, so that should be interesting. But I'm gonna head up to the table saw now and notch those out. Here you can see what that was all about. Now that fits just around those. Doesn't have to be perfect. If I want, I might come back with like some black caulk and fill these in. But they're pretty, I mean, that's pretty good from, you know, back here. That's pretty decent. And then I think in order to, you know, glue this to the bottom here, like I said, I'm just going to use like construction adhesive, I think, and just glue it right to the bottom. And then I'll just cut a couple sticks to the perfect length and then just kind of wedge them up in there. but this will have to be, you know, once everything's completely finished and done, it'll just sit up in there like that, which looks a whole lot better than that. And then I'm gonna cut this probably about here and then use this other small piece here to go up in there. So yeah, too bad it's not long enough, but you know, you gotta work with what you got. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do today. I'm glad that I got this piece done because I wanna be able to finish everything with Rubio all at one time. So I will hit this, you know, get it sanded down so that it's ready to go. And then tomorrow I'm gonna take all of this out of here, back up to the garage and put Rubio black on all of this, let that dry overnight, and then the next day I can go ahead and do the final install. So that's all I got for today. I will see you tomorrow.